Welcome. In this practice, we are going to explore diagonal lines as well as twists. You won't need any blocks or props for the practice, and we'll start laying down on our backs. So go ahead and make your way down onto your mat. And then bring your feet a little bit wider than mat width distance apart and reach your arms out towards the sides. So starting in this big X shape. Close down your eyes, take an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Allow yourself to land on your mat in your space and to arrive in your physical body. Doing a little scan, observing how you feel in this moment, noticing what you've arrived on your mat with today. Now bring your awareness to your right hand. And scan your awareness down into the right elbow, the right shoulder, the right side of your chest. Bring your awareness towards the center of your abdomen, and then cross your awareness over towards the left hip. And drop the awareness down into the left knee, left ankle, left foot. And then bring your awareness to this big diagonal line between the left foot and the right hand. And begin to reach those two parts of the body away from one another. Reach your right hand away from your left foot. Stretch, stretch, reach. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. And then soften. Relax your right arm, relax your left leg. Now bring your awareness to your left hand. Scan your awareness down into your left elbow, the left shoulder, left side of your chest. Guide your awareness to the center of your abdomen. And then cross the awareness over into the right hip, the right knee, the right ankle, all the way down to the right foot. And then envision that long diagonal line between your left hand and your right foot, and begin to reach them away from one another, stretching them out in opposing directions. Reach, reach, reach your left hand away from your right foot. Your right foot is reaching away from your left hand. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then soften. Now bring your awareness to the place where those two diagonal lines meet and intersect. This center X. And from that place, expand out in all different directions. So reaching right hand away from left foot, reaching left hand away from right foot, stretching, reaching, creating this big, big X. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Soften back down. Bring your right hand to your right shoulder. Slide your right hand across your chest, over to the left shoulder. And then slide your right arm all the way towards your left hand. And as you do, you're going to roll over towards the left, just a little, and come towards the inner arc of the back right foot. You could point your right toes and see if you could actually slide your right hand further away from your left hand, so further forward. And then let's go back to the X. So flex your right ankle, right heel comes down, right thigh comes down, right arm slides down, the left arm across the chest and back out open to the X. Let's do the other side. Bring your left hand to your left shoulder. Slide the hand across the chest, over to the right shoulder. Slide your left arm all the way towards the right. As you do, begin to roll over onto your right hip. Come to the inner arc of the back left foot. You could point your left toes. Could you slide your left hand a little bit further past the right? Really reach, reach, stretch, stretch. And then slowly we go back towards the X. Left hand slides towards the right shoulder and back out open to the X. Bring your right hand back to your right shoulder. This time, the right hand is going to slide down the diagonal line all the way to the left foot. So cross the center, bring the right hand to the left hip. Now you're going to have to lift your head, lift your chest, bring your left palm flat down onto the mat to give yourself a little help to come all the way up. We do a big crunch. Right hand slides. See if you could come to the outer edge of your left foot or maybe just the shin, and then rotate the chest towards the left. So we create a little twist. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then let's slide back down. Right hand slides to the left knee, to the hip. The left arm slides back behind. It helps to guide us back into that big X. Very nice. Switch sides. Left hand to left shoulder. Left hand is going to go in the direction of the right foot. So cross it along the center line, over to the right hip. Lift your head, lift your chest, and then take your right palm flat down on the mat to give yourself a little help to come all the way up. We do a big crunch. Left hand slides towards the outer right leg or the foot, and then rotate the chest to the right. A little seated twist with wide legs. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Back down we go. Same way that we came up. We rewind all the way back towards the X. Okay, one more thing down on our back. Send your right arm straight up towards the sky. Send your left leg straight up towards the sky. And then do a crunch. Lift your head, lift your chest, and see if you could get your right hand higher up than your left foot, which is a little easier for me because I have very long arms, which are super helpful, super useful in yoga. But wherever you are, keep crunching, keep reaching, try to get more of your shoulders off of the mat. Take another breath in, another breath out, and then slowly, slowly open back into the X. Try to keep your low back snug on towards the mat as you come all the way down, slow and controlled. Other side, left arm straight up towards the sky. Right leg comes straight up towards the sky. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And then do a crunch. Lift your head, lift your chest. See if you could reach your left hand higher up than your right foot. Reach your fingertips up higher, higher, higher. And try to get more of your shoulders off of the mat so your core starts to shake and vibrate. Keep going, keep reaching. One more breath. Slowly open back into the X. Left arm back, right leg forward and down. Try to keep your low back snug on towards the floor. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Reach your arms straight up to the sky. Bring your hands towards your thighs. Bring your chin into your chest and roll yourself all the way up towards a wide-legged forward fold. You could slide your hands towards the inner part of your legs, your feet. Let your head drop down and then just start to feel into this a little bit. You could rock a little side to side, make any movements that feel good. And then slowly roll yourself up. Bring your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a little squeeze. Drawing everything in towards the center line, that center X. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Make your way to tabletop. Come onto all fours. Take a moment to align your hands to set your knees. And then send your right leg back behind you. Turn your right toes out open to the right side. So we open the right hip. And then begin to send your right leg out towards the right, just a little bit. So your right foot is headed in the direction of the right corner of the mat, the back corner of the mat. Keep your right hand flat down and start to walk your left fingertips towards the top left corner of the mat. So again, we're playing with finding that diagonal line. You could stay here, or you could lift your left arm up. Now reach your left arm and your right foot further away from one another. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your elbow and your knee in towards the center. And if you can get them to touch, I want you to actually squeeze them together. Back to the diagonal line, take an inhale. Exhale, elbow and knee come in towards the center. Squeeze them together. Try to get contact. One more time. Expand out in towards the diagonal. Inhale. Exhale, elbow and knee to the center. Good. Expand back out into the diagonal just for a moment. And then set your left hand down and bend your right knee. Your hip is already open. Tuck your left toes under. Three-legged down dog. Keep the right knee bent and the right hip open. Try to keep your shoulders square and keep a little bend in your left knee, or you could have your left heel lifted if it's too much for the back of the left leg or if it's too soon. Take another cycle of breath in and out, trying to lift the right knee up nice and high. And then straighten out your right leg, square off through your hips, breathe in. Lizard lunge as you breathe out, right foot steps to the outside of the right hand. Drop your left knee down, pop up onto your fingertips, or you could have your hands on blocks if you prefer. Little lizard lunge as you inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, straighten out the right leg, let your head drop down, round your back. Let's think of this as cat-cow. As you inhale, make it a little back bend. Lift your chest, lift your chin. As you exhale, straighten out the front leg, round your back, just like angry cat. One more time, inhale, little lunge. Exhale, half splits. Good, bend into the right knee, plant the right foot down, lift your left knee up, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand, Malasana. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your heart, lift your chin, lift your chest. Now set your right hand down and reach your left arm up towards the sky. The diagonal line is now between the two hands. Reach them away from one another. Take a breath in and a breath out. Bring the hands back to the heart. Find length in the spine and then switch sides. Left hand down, right arm up. The diagonal line is between your two hands. Reach, stretch them apart. Full cycle of breath. Bring the hands to the heart. Long spine, stand up and open up into a star shape, just as we were on our back. Now bring your right hand to your right shoulder and then slide the right hand over to the left hip. Slide the right hand all the way down towards the outer edge of your left foot and create a twist. Lift your left arm up towards the sky. Take a full breath in, full breath out. And then slide all the way back up. Try to keep your left arm up high. Right arm goes all the way back out open to the X. Bring your left hand to your left shoulder. Slide the hand across the chest, across the center, over to the right hip, down the right leg. Keep the right arm reaching up towards the sky as you slide your left hand down to find the outer edge of the foot, the shin. Keep reaching the right arm up. And then stand all the way back up. Nice and slow. Keep the right arm high. Expand into the X. Take an inhale. As you exhale, fold forward and down. Set your hands, step your feet back, and keep your feet mat width distance apart, so a wide plank. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower everything down onto the mat. Reach your arms forward. Once again, we find this big star shape. And then lift your head, lift your chest, lift your arms, lift your legs, and expand, expand, expand. Reach your right hand away from your left foot. Reach your left hand away from your right foot, expanding out from the center X. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders and set your feet down wide. And then lift your chest up any amount, creating a back bend with wide legs. Child's pose. Bring your toes together, keep your knees wide, send your hips to your heels. Let your forehead, your elbows rest down. Take a moment, take a breath. And then rise up to tabletop. Let's do the other side. Set your hands, set your feet. Take a moment. And then send your left leg back behind you. Turn your left toes out open to the left, opening through the left hip. Start to send your left leg towards the back left corner of the mat. Come up onto your right fingertips and walk your right fingertips towards the top right corner of the mat. You could stay here. You could lift your right arm up to about the height of your shoulder. Right hand reaching away from left foot kicking away from right hand. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right elbow, left knee, come into the center. If you can get them to touch, squeeze them together. Inhale, back to the diagonal line. Expand, expand, expand. Exhale, squeeze it in. One more time, moving with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nice, back to the diagonal line just for the inhale. And then set the right hand down, bend your left knee, your hip is staying open, tuck the right toes under, and lift the right knee up. Go back to a three-legged down dog with the knee bent, the hip open, familiar shape. You could have a bend in your right knee, maybe lift the right heel up. Keep your shoulders square and lift your left knee up a little bit higher. One more breath. Straighten out the left leg, square off through your hips, breathe in. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand as you breathe out for lizard lunge. Now drop your right knee down, pop up onto fingertips or hands to blocks. Little lizard lunge as you inhale, hips go down, chest lifts up. Half splits, round your back, let your head drop down. Think of this as our cat-cow. Inhale, make it a back bend, lift your heart, lift your chest. Exhale, make it a forward fold, round your back. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Bend into the left knee, plant the left foot down, lift the right knee up. We're going to Malasana, right foot steps to the outside of the right hand, sink the hips low, bring the hands to the heart. Lots of length in the spine. Left hand down, right arm up. The diagonal line is between your two hands. Reach them away from one another. Open through your chest. Now bring the hands to the heart. Lengthen the spine. Switch, right hand down, left arm up. Envision this diagonal line between the two hands. Hands reaching, stretching away from one another. Hands to the heart, lengthen the spine, push into your feet. We're gonna stand up into the star shape. All the way up, inhale. As you exhale, left hand to left shoulder. Slide the left hand all the way down towards the right foot. Keep your right arm reaching straight up towards the sky. Come all the way down for a twist. And then come all the way back up, nice and slow, nice and controlled. The entire movement, the entire range is important. Right hand to right shoulder. Cross the center line. Slide the right hand down to the left leg. The left shin, the left ankle, maybe the foot. Keep the left arm reaching up. And then rise all the way back up. Keep the left arm high. Big X shape, inhale. Fold as you exhale. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back. Come to a plank with wide legs and wide hands. Inhale. Come all the way down as you exhale. Point your toes and slide your hands forward. Create that big X shape once again. Lift everything up. Find the diagonal line between your left hand and your right foot and reach them apart. Find the diagonal line between your right hand and your left foot and reach them apart. Expand out from the center X. Inhale. Bring your hands down, bend your elbows, land your feet, lift your chest up so we come into a wide-legged cobra. Toes together, knees stay wide, child's pose. Elbows down, forehead down. Take a moment, take a breath, a little pause to check in. With your next inhale, rise up through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, downward facing dog, all the way back and up. Let's take an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Then just start to move into this downward facing dog in any way that feels good. Maybe the body's craving stillness, maybe it's craving a little movement in your feet, your knees, your hips, your shoulders. And then eventually land in a place where you can be still and just take a moment there, take a breath, grounding yourself in down dog, our home base. Now lift your right leg up towards the sky. Turn your right toes out open to the right side, open through the right hip. And then start to send the right leg over towards the right. Lift the outer edge of the right foot up. And then push into your left hand. And as you push into that left hand, could you lift the right foot up a little bit higher, finding the diagonal line? Take an inhale. As you exhale, right knee, left elbow. Lean forward, shift forward. See if you could make contact. If you can, push the two together. Inhale, right leg goes back out open to the diagonal line. Push your left hand down, down, down. And then as you exhale, right knee to left elbow, cross it under. One more time, keep both of your arms straight and strong. Push the left hand down, kick the right foot out. Elbow and knee. Full exhale. Back to the diagonal line. Now bend your right knee, your hip is already open, your shoulders stay square. Could you lift your right knee up a little bit higher, engaging through the right glute? Take another cycle of breath. And then straighten out your right leg and square off through your hips. Inhale. As you exhale, lizard lunge, right foot steps to the outside of the right hand. Pop up onto your fingertips or bring your hands to blocks. Inhale, lunge. Keep the back knee lifted, but if you want to bring a little bend into the knee, go for it. Lift your chest up. Long pyramid, straighten out your legs. Fold. You could lift the right toes up if you'd like. Any variation that you know that you like, cycle through it, moving with your breath. Inhale for the back bend, exhale for the forward fold. One more time. Now bend into the right knee, plant the right foot down. Pivot your left heel on towards the mat. We're gonna windmill open to warrior two. Adjust your feet so that you feel stable. Open the arms out wide to the side. Sink into the front right knee. Take an inhale. Full exhale. Now straighten out your right leg. Turn your right toes in towards your left. Open the arms. Create that beautiful star shape. Expanding out from the center X. Inhale. As you exhale, right hand to right shoulder. Slide the right hand all the way towards the outer edge of the left foot. Once again, finding a twist. Keep your left arm reaching up towards the sky, and then try to lift your right hip up just a little bit higher. Keep the left arm high and come all the way back up, expanding out into this big X. Inhale. Exhale, left hand to left shoulder. Slide the left hand down over to the right hip. All the way down to the outer edge of the right leg, maybe finding the ankle, the outer edge of the foot. Right arm up. Could you lift your left hip up just a little bit higher? And then come all the way back up. Big X, take an inhale, expand. Exhale, fold forward and down. Take a moment here, take a breath, making any little movements. And then find some length in your spine. Turn your right toes out. Bend your front right knee, Skandasana. Walk your hands so that they stay right underneath your shoulders, and then turn your left toes to point up towards the sky. Right heel stays down. You could stay here or right hand down, left arm up towards the sky. Once again, finding the diagonal line between the two hands. Right hand pressing down, left arm reaching up. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Bring your left hand down, pivot forward, come to a lunge. Frame off the front right foot. Plant your left hand down, reach your right arm up towards the sky, twist open. Side plank. If you want to modify, you can drop your left knee down, pivot your left shin back, and then slide your right foot towards the back of the mat. Otherwise, you can roll to the outer edge of your left foot and step your right foot back on top of your left, so feet stacked. Now reach your right arm overhead, right bicep to right ear, and see if you could lift your right leg up, coming into a side plank star. Now the diagonal line is between your right hand and the outer edge of your left foot, so push the left foot down and reach the right arm forward. Expand, expand. Take another inhale. As you exhale, come to plank. Right hand down, right foot down, feet wide, hands wide. Inhale, lower, exhale. Slide your hands forward. Lift everything up. Inhale. As you exhale, bend your elbows. Set your hands down. Set your feet down. Lift your chest up a little bit higher. Child's pose. Knees stay wide. Toes connect. Hips to heels. Elbows down. Pause. Soften. Ground. Come forward through tabletop, breathe in. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, down dog, breathe out. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Make any little movements, giving yourself a moment here in down dog to do what you gotta do. Eventually coming towards a still place where the hands are firmly rooted, the feet are firmly rooted. Take a breath there. And then lift your left leg up towards the sky. Three-legged down dog. Turn your left toes out open to the left side, so you open your left hip. And then begin to send your left leg over to the left side, creating that diagonal line. Push your right hand down. Kick the left foot back. Lift the outer edge of the foot a little bit higher. Keep both of your arms straight and strong. Take an inhale. As you exhale, left knee, right elbow, bring them together. If you can get them to touch, push them together. Inhale, back out open to the diagonal line. Outer edge of the left foot lifts, right hand pushes down, and then exhale, elbow and knee together. Cross the center line. One more time. Inhale, backing up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, come forward, lean forward. Good, go back and up towards the diagonal line, and then bend your left knee. Hip is already open. Could you lift your knee up a little bit higher? Keep your shoulders square. Get a big contraction through the left glute. Now straighten out your left leg, square off through your hips, breathe in. Lizard lunge as you breathe out. Left foot steps to the outside of the left hand. Come up onto your fingertips or hands to blocks. Lunge as you breathe in. Invite a little bend into the back knee if you want. Lift your chest up. Long pyramid as you exhale. Let your head drop round. Just like cat-cow, inhale, back bend, spinal extension, lift up. Exhale, round your back like angry cat, spinal flexion. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your left knee, plant your left foot flat down, right heel to the mat. We're pivoting open to warrior two, so adjust your feet accordingly. Maybe you try having your feet in sort of a different position. Why not? Sink into the front knee, look to the front hand, breathe in. Breathe out. Straighten out your left leg. Turn your left toes in towards your right. Star shape, inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand to left elbow or shoulder. Cross the center line, slide the left hand all the way over to the right hip. Down the right leg, keep the right arm reaching up towards the sky. Lift your left hip up a little bit higher, lift your right arm up a little bit higher, breathe in. Breathe out. Come all the way back up, sliding the left hand over towards the left shoulder and then all the way back up, and then switch right hand to right shoulder. Cross the center line, slide it over to the left hip, down the left leg. Keep your left arm reaching high to the sky. Right hand comes all the way down. Now notice how the right hip wants to dip to help with the twist. So lift your right hip up a little bit more and then try to lift your left arm up a little bit more. And then slide all the way back up. Keep the left arm high. Big X, expand out, inhale. Fold as you exhale. Let everything soften. Find length in the spine. Skandasana to the front, turn your left toes out, bend your left knee, walk your hands so that they stay underneath your shoulders, and then turn your right toes to point up to the sky. Keep your left heel down, lift your chest up. You could stay with the hands down or left arm goes down, over towards the left side, it's in front of the left knee, right arm up towards the sky, just like we did in Malasana. We find this diagonal line between the two hands. Full cycle of breath, opening through the chest. And then bring the right hand down, pivot forward, frame off your front left foot, lift up the back right heel, lunge. Set your right hand down, reach your left arm up towards the sky, twist open. We're preparing for side plank star. If you'd like to modify, it's your right knee that's gonna go down and your right shin that's gonna pivot like a little kickstand. Otherwise, you roll to the outer edge of your right foot, step your left foot back on top of your right. Wherever you are, reach your left arm forward, left bicep to left ear. Lift your left foot up. The diagonal line is between your right foot and your left hand. Reach the two away from one another. Expand, expand, expand. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's come to plank, our last vinyasa. Left hand down, left foot down. Keep the hands wide, the feet wide. Breathe in. Lower as you breathe out. Arms forward. Lift up, expand out. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bend your elbows, set your hands down, set your feet down, lift your chest up, create a back bend. Child's pose. Knees stay wide, toes come together, hips to heels, elbows down, forehead down. With your next inhale, come forward through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, downward facing dog, all the way back and up. Take an inhale through your nose and an exhale through the mouth. Look forward. Bring your hands a little bit closer together. Walk or hop to Malasana. So feet are going to go to the outside of the hands. Hands to the heart, lift the chest. And then bring your hands back behind you and guide your sitting bones down on towards the floor. Keep your feet wide, hold onto your shins, lift your chest up. Really pull onto your shins, bend your elbows, shoulder blades squeeze together. And then round your back. Bring your chin into your chest, lean back, pull onto your shins, and separate your shoulder blades apart. And then release your shins, reach your arms forward, and slowly, slowly start to lower down vertebra by vertebra. Keep your chin into your chest, your back round, control the descent all the way down. Bring your hands down by your sides. Keep your feet wide, but slide your feet in a little bit. We're gonna do a wide-legged bridge. Tuck your tailbone under, peel your spine off of the mat, vertebra by vertebra. Come all the way up. Glute bridge with toes turned out, knees wide. Tuck the tailbone under, lift the hips up. Then slowly begin to lower. Your upper back comes down. Mid back lowers down. Low back lands last. Open your arms out wide to the sides. Inhale. As you exhale, knees to the right. Head to the left, softening into this passive twist. The knees stay wide, feet stay wide, these 90-90 legs. Close down your eyes and soften your breath. And bring your head to the center, bring your knees to the center and switch sides. Knees to the left, head to the right. You roll to the inner arc of the right foot, the outer edge of the left foot. Right knee heavy. The shoulders heavy, belly soft. Twist happening at the center of the spine. Bring your head to the center, knees, legs to the center. Bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms all the way around your legs. Give yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. Thank yourself for your practice, for coming onto your mat, for exploring, moving, breathing consciously, giving yourself this time just for you. When you're ready, release your arms, release your legs, and let's expand back out open into that big X shape. Take an inhale to reach and to stretch out. Exhale, soften down. Envision those two diagonal lines between the right hand and the left foot, between the left hand and the right foot. And then bring your awareness to where those two lines intersect, the center X, the very center of the body, the center of who you are. That place where two sides come together and meet as one. The practice of yoga is an exploration of all the duality that exists in the world. The word yoga means union, union of those dualities, bringing them together, seeing that they are two sides of the same coin. Allow yourself to rest in that place of union and harmony and peace. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Namaste.